Welcome to Politics Done Right on KPFT. I am your host, Egberto Williams. This is the progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. Give me a call at 713-526-5738. That is 713-526-KPFT. Remember, you can also send me a tweet to EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Williams. Let us engage. It is politics done right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Williams, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show. Yes, we are in Fun Drive, but guess what? We are going to have a show, so stay with me. I know a lot of times you come on to the show and say, oh my God, it's Fun Drive. All they're going to do is beg for money, and that's not the case. We are going to have a show. We are going to have a great show. We are going to have a blog of the week that I'm going to beg you to listen to because it has some information that I want you to carry on. Folks, if you're listening on Facebook Live, and I see that we have some on Facebook Live so far, welcome aboard. William Bill McLeod, the hardest working man in politics, William Bill McLeod. When you guys go to the polls, you better vote, folks. You better vote. And of course, we also have Rebecca Shuklak. Welcome aboard. Jackie Hazelwood. Welcome aboard. And we have my good friend Chase Escamilla. ¿Cómo estás, hermano mío? ¿Estás aquí luchando con el movimiento? We are working very hard to get this movement going, folks. How are you doing? My great producer and program director, Don. How are you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing.
Oh, God. You see, folks, I love Don, right? But anytime I said, Don, how are you doing? And I'm all excited and ready to go. Don says, I'm doing fine. I love you, brother. Still, I love you, even though you're too damn cool. But I love you, brother.
I open up the show every time with that. I don't see
I
what the
know,
difference is.
I know, but I'm just trying to put some spirit in you. Like, folks, this is a call-in show, but today we are also in Fun Drive. And before I get to the show, before I get to the blog of the week, I'm asking you to give us a call at 713-526-5738. And notice I said that slow because people say I say it too fast, so I'm going to say 713-526-5738. Give us a call and become a member. We are looking for a lot of new members as well to KPFT. So if you're not a member of KPFT, please give us a call at 713-526-5738. Give us a cup of coffee a month or something like that. And by the way, folks, guess what? Politics Done Right has stickers now. Not only stickers, I mean the what you call that stuff for the back of your car again?
Bumper stickers.
Thank you, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Bumper stickers. So you get the Politics Done Right bumper stickers. Is Wendy at Play Central right now? Before we go into the show, I want to. Nope. She's not at Play Central?
No.
Okay, folks. I think, don't quote me, but I think if you call in and give at least $25, you get you can get our bumper sticker. We have the Politics Done, As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. That's the book that I wrote. It's still valid today. All the options it teaches you about patents and how the corporatocracy has screwed us. Yes, sir.
And how much is that?
What is it again?
I can tell your pitching is like, you don't know the price. It's Egberto Williams with As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom for $120. That's $10 a month. If you do a sustainer pledge, you can do $10 a month. That's not much, but the thing is, what do I know about your paychecks, right?
I know.
But $10 a month to help the station grow and to help Politics Done Right meet their goal.
Absolutely, folks. And I have you know what they did to me this time, Don? Well, I'm saying what they did to me, what you did to me, and everybody did to me. I have a high goal that I have to reach, folks. So please call 713-526-5738. They gave me a high goal, and they're going to kick. Are you guys going to kick off if don't make it over?
I can't talk about that on air.
Okay.
But, off air, yes.
Oh, God, my God. Folks, give us a call. 713-526-5738. Please have those phones ringing. I need to have you phones ringing. But I tell you what, Don, let's get into the show. As is Wendy's not out there, then let's get into the show and start this stuff. Folks, call right now, 713-526-5738. If you're listening on Facebook, please go ahead and share the show. That is how we expand our horizon. We want to be more than just radio or terrestrial radio. We want to make sure to expand to the internet. That is what Don and all these other folks have been doing a great job at, getting us the exposure, because if we are going to change the corporatocracy, if we're going to change the plutocracy, if we are going to go out there and really get our people voting, if we're going to get to those folks that a lot of us think are our enemies, they're not. If we're going to go out there and convince some of our brothers and sisters on the other side of the aisle that it is purposeful to come and be a part of us, then we need to do that. But anyhow, today the title of the show is let me make sure that's a show and not the blog of the week. Okay, here it goes. The title of the show: the press has fallen into Trump's trap, but Republicans haven't. This is an important concept. I hope you listen. If you're listening on Facebook Live, please go ahead and share this now. This is important. The press has fallen into Trump's trap, but Republicans haven't. Look, folks, everyone thinks that the Republican Party is being held hostage to Donald Trump. In a rather obscure manner, it is likely the other way around. Many don't see it, but ultimately Donald Trump is being used, and unfortunately, neither the media nor Democrats really see what is occurring. We will talk about that, and I've got a typo. Anyhow, before I get into the program, however, I want to remind all our listeners that KPFT is a bastion of intelligent voices and programs. As a political activist myself, my favorites are Think Wing Radio with
Mike Honig on Mondays at 2 p.m.
And of course, we have Open Journal with
Dwayne Bradley and crew on Mondays at 6 p.m.
And of course, we have Jazz Latino, Afro-Cuban Latin Jazz at its very best, hosted by
Juan Flores on Tuesdays at noon.
Absolutely so. And my great program, Gener Asian Radio, a weekly radio program featuring an eclectic mix of Asian underground, Bhangra, Bollywood funk, Hindi, Rai, where ancient sounds meet future beats. When is that again?
Oh, that's Thursdays from 12 to 2. So you heard that earlier today, folks.
Absolute great show, folks. If you're just joining us, folks, please share us on Facebook Live. Please share us on your wall. Share us on your page. Share us on Twitter. Share us on Tumblr. Everything else. We want full coverage. And of course, there is really, but not really, a hip-hop and R&B parody show on
Thursdays at 10 p.m. except for this week because it's the Inner Side with Scooter.
And of course, the show after this show is
Border Radio with Susan Darrow.
Susanna. Okay. Anyhow, folks, check out our schedule at kpft.org. And by the way, you can donate securely at kpft.org right now for Politics Done Right. If you go to kpft.org right now for Politics Done Right, you can start the donation flowing for the show, because we have a very high margin we have to reach. So I am asking you to give us a call at 713-526-5738. Let's make Politics Done Right do its part for this station. Folks, do remember.
Do it in Spanish. I'm not good at Spanish.
Ok, vamos, llama por favor al 713-526-5738. De nuevo es 713-526-5738 para donar a la estación de radio. Necesitamos ahorita mismo su donación para que podamos mantenernos en el aire. 713-526-5738. Thank you so kindly, folks, for listening. So anyhow, check out our full schedule at kpft.org, where you can find programming from music to politics to medicine to the eclectic. KPFT is a listener-supported public community radio station. So please remember that if you like what you hear, visit kpft.org and ensure we remain a strong, viable community radio station that provides news, programming, and information not influenced by whom, Don?
The corporatocracy.
Absolutely so. We have to be influenced, you know whom? By you, folks.
The
by
people.
You. By the people. This is We the People Radio. That is who we are. We the People Radio. So what are your thoughts? Folks, I want to hear from you. Today, when you call, you're going to get Pledge Central. But if you want to talk to me as well, you can send me the messages right here on Facebook Live, and we'll be following. Don will be following it as well, right, Don? And if Don sees something that I don't see, Don is going to send me a little message here in this window and say, Egberto, read what I'm saying, buddy. And then I'll say, yes, sir, I'll read what you're saying, sir. Okay, folks, but I tell you what, let's go ahead and, is anybody at Pledge Central right now? Nobody's at Pledge Central. Okay.
So we have one call. Just we're going to thank that one person who gave, and now we have about 2 people on the phone. So join those 2 people. We have a full house. Let's go ahead and fill up all the phones.
Yes, let's do that, folks. Let's go ahead and help KPFT stay on air. We need that because, folks, I'm going to the blog of the week right now. So stick around with me. I'm going to the blog of the week. But here's what I want to tell you guys. A lot of times we sit back, right? And we are generous and we want to give. We want to go ahead and support KPFT. We want to support Politics Done Right. And we tell ourselves, it's kind of inconvenient right now. Somebody else is going to do it. You know, if most people are saying somebody else is going to do it, it ends up that nobody does it. A short, and remember, you can also give at kpft.org. My program director just told me that I better say that. kpft.org. You can donate at kpft. Why are you shaking your head? You just told me to do it.
Yeah, but you make me sound like a monster.
You're not a monster. You're a great guy. I told you I love you. Isn't that good enough, brother?
Nope.
Okay, good. Anyhow, folks, look. I'm going to tell you a little quick personal story. This is a quick one. I think I've told it before, but I like to tell it to kind of be expressive. I'm a software developer, had a software company, all that good stuff, and, have a daughter. When my daughter got out of high school, I said, I really want to do what I really want to do, and that really want to do is going to be politics, political activism because of what has been happening in the country. And what I said to myself is I had to get a few things placed in order, and then reduce exactly all my expenditures. And after reducing all my expenditures, go for the passion of doing something outside of ourselves. In other words, something that was not for oneself, but for others. And that is a choice that I made. My choice, I don't know how happy the wife is about it, but the choice that I made was that I was going to be a political activist whose sole job was going to be to work with others to make this a better country, a better part. Do my small, very small part. The thing that we have to ask of ourselves is to make things better. We all have to be a part of it. And you don't have to give up your profession. I gave up software development, my software business. You don't have to do that. But do something. Do something. And that's what I always tell people. You don't have to take the drastic action that I've done or Don's done or many of the other people that are dedicated to KPFT. I mean, we have hundreds of stories here at KPFT of people who've given up what they used to be because they've realized that somebody had to grab the political ball and be a part of that wave that is going to make a change. But you know what? You can in your way too, and that is by helping us keep these avenues alive. That is by helping us keeping stations like the only progressive station in Southeast Texas and probably the entire half of Texas. The only progressive station that is really out there giving you independent data, independent news. That's who we are. So we ask you to give us a call at 713-526-5738. I made a promise. I promised every time with Politics Done Right that all I was going to give you is researched truth. And not only researched truth, but educated research truth based on facts. And I also told you, if I make a mistake here and there, I will be the first one to correct it. And some of you have corrected me on air. And I've said, that's correct. And you know what? Because that's all we are interested in here. This is not about ego. This is not about anything other than we want a better place. And I can tell you from experience and dealing with the vast majority of people here at KPFT, to the volunteers that are out there answering the phones, to the folks that were here 5 a.m. when I got here. These are people that really, really, they're altruistic and they really want things. They really want to accomplish something. And you know what? We will, and we are, and we're doing. We ask you to call 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the blog of the week, and then we'll go back and pitch. So, folks, do you know what time it is?
It's time for the weekly blog post.
Okay, my dear brothers and sisters of all stripes, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, anarchist, agnostic, Christian, Muslim, whomever you are, the press continues to fall into the Republicans' trap. Donald Trump. And it's going to take a little way around before I conclude, and then I'll conclude sort of ad-libbing. But it goes as follows. Republicans have learned a lot from Donald Trump. The only difference is while Trump does have a lot to worry about, they don't. Have you wondered why many Republicans continue to stick with Trump? The reality is that Republicans do not fear Donald Trump. At this point, they need him. They really, really, really need Donald Trump. The Republicans have done what they do best. They've passed incoherent and middle-class destructive policies. And notice I just said incoherent and middle-class destructive policies. I didn't say poor. They've already done screwed the poor. They did so knowingly. The Republican tax cut scam will effectively transfer the hard-earned dollars of the middle class to the wealthy. It may take some time for Americans to realize how detrimental the bill is, but in the long run, they will. Ali Velshi is one of the few journalists who explained what Americans would find out in the long term. And here's the deal. He called out the Republican lies about the tax cut scam, where it says, it focuses on the middle class, a lie. It won't benefit the wealthy, a lie. It's terrible for Trump's family fortune, a lie. The tax cut scam will pay for itself, a lie. It will help pay down the national debt, a lie. 4% boost in GDP will pay for the tax cut scam and more. Misleading. Before I continue with what Ali Velshi implied, I have to tell you that is the reason the bill passed, right? All those people were able to sell that to Americans. They were able to sell that to several Americans that those are the realities of the bill. Now, later on we'll talk about the deficit, but it's ridiculous. It's not. And you're going to pay. You're going to pay. You will pay. He then educated Americans with unbiased studies and analysis. Velshi then educates by pointing out there has been no period in American history where the required GDP boost was sustainable. As such, the Republicans are pegging success on something that has never happened, something our economic system is resistant to systemically. He enumerated studies from left-leaning, nonpartisan, and right-leaning organizations who all debunked the fallacies emanating from misinforming Republicans. They all show that the Republican tax cut scam explodes the deficit. He then pointed out that 42 leading American economists polled made it clear that the tax cut scam will not grow the economy in such a manner that it pays for itself. Americans will remember the law's biggest cheerleader. They will. And who was the law's biggest cheerleader? Donald Trump owns the tax cut scam. You may say the Republicans, nah. They made it in such a manner in the way they marketed it. Donald Trump owns the tax cut scam. Donald Trump imposed heavy tariffs, presumably to combat unfair trade. Of course, the middle class and poor will pay most of that tariff. When you go to Walmart and that blouse is $1 more, it's you're paying. When you go to buy that pizza and that stuff that goes into the box, you know, it's yours.
Cars.
Okay, it's ours. We pay the bill. Let me interrupt my little blog of the week first to just give Bruce and Matthew a big thank you, my dear friends. Thank you so kindly for your contributions. Anyhow, continuing, we have great supporters. We have great listeners. I have the best listeners on the planet, folks. But let me continue with the blog of the week. The president is now attempting, before that, I want to say this. Of course, the middle class and the poor will pay most of the tariff. And folks, I want you guys to understand, but to my Republicans that are listening to me and all those who thought, we're going to stick it to China. We're going to stick it to the EU. We're going to stick it to Canada. No, you're sticking it to yourself. Okay? When you go ahead and pay those tariffs, you remember how that deficit spending stuff went in the bill, or how much that tax cut scam is? The tariff is another scam. The deficit would have exploded even more, but the tariffs are in. The tariffs are in. And when Walmart has to pay tariff, that is a tax Walmart is paying to the government to fill those coffers, and you are paying it back to Walmart.
Egberto.
Yes, sir.
I believe you are answering the question of how are we going to pay for that?
Yes.
the question they ask anytime we promote any progressive idea. They say, how are you going to pay for that? Well, now we know we're paying for bad ideas, and we're paying for it by you losing your job, you having to pay more for cars, you having to pay more for food, you're paying more to live.
Don, you're absolutely right, sir.
Yeah. So how are you going to pay for that? Well,
yeah,
that's the answer.
That's the answer. Okay, I mean, Don is absolutely right. You know, they always ask, when progressive have ideas, how do you pay for it? How comes with these, we don't ask that? In fact, there are two ways that we pay for the tariffs and also with deficit spending. And with deficit spending, it costs you because interest rates goes up and other things happen. But continuing, that tax will end up in the Treasury to partially compensate for the tax cut scam caused deficit explosion. So the deficit exploding, the tax cut scam will partially be paid by the tariffs. You're paying the bill. The rich people got the money. And when you go to Walmart, and when you go to Sam's, and when you go to HEB or anywhere else, you pay. You pay. You pay, don't forget it. The president is now attempting to compensate farmers for their losses partially, but the damages caused by these tariffs are much more significant. Trump owns the tax increases and the loss of income to the people he purported to give tax relief to. Remember, listen to the Republicans now, folks, and this is I told you this was going to be a kind of an interest way to follow this blog of the week. Notice how all the Republicans are really coming out against the tariff. They're not forcing the hand of the president. They're against the tariff because they know it hurts, but they are making the president take the fall for the tariff. So that's the magic that is occurring here, folks. The Republicans are isolated themselves from the president, and he's allowing himself to be isolated when necessary, because this is what in software engineering we call the abstraction layer. They're creating the abstraction layer. They're getting their results without having to touch it. Folks, I'm telling you, the press doesn't get it, the Democrats doesn't get it, and because they don't get it, they don't know how to fight it. Continuing. From the time Donald Trump entered the presidency, he, along with his cohort, have been sabotaging the Affordable Care Act. And here's what they did. In April 2017, the Trump administration cut the number of days people could sign up for coverage during the open enrollment by half, from 90 days to 45 days. In July 2017, the Trump administration, guess what, used funding intended to support the health insurance enrollment to launch a multimedia propaganda campaign against the Affordable Care Act. The executive is there to execute the laws, and instead they took the funding to execute the law to say how bad the law was. My God, isn't that unconstitutional? Don't these guys believe in the Constitution? The executive execute, the legislature legislate, and the judicial decides if they're doing it right.
Well, it all depends on what your definition of execute is.
Oh my God, you're so right, brother. In August, the administration cut the outreach advertising budget for open enrollment by 90%, from $100 million to $10 million, which resulted in as many as 1.1 million fewer people getting covered. In September 2017, the administration ordered the Department of Health and Human Services regional directors to stop participating in open enrollment events. Mississippi Healthcare Health Advocacy Program Executive Director Roy Mitchell says, "I didn't call it sabotage, but that's what it is." Even they admitted it. In October 2017, the Trump administration dramatically cut in-person assistance to help people sign up for 2018 health coverage. Last month, The Hill reported that the Trump administration proposed further massive cuts for health insurance navigators. And just last month, Trump's push for association health care plans has even supporters running away as they understand its fraudulent nature. But guess what, folks? Guess who owns it? Donald Trump owns the Affordable Care Act sabotage, the Obamacare sabotage. Yeah, we have a few crazy guys in the Republican, the Freedom Caucus that purports to support it. But you know what? The rest of the Republicans, they're quiet. They're not saying much, because October surprise is going to be a huge ACA bill, and they're going to say, it's the Donald. And who knows, by then, God knows what's going to be happening with the things that are going on. Anyhow, the Trump administration has signed into law bills that have exploded the deficit to the trillion-dollar levels. This deficit is dangerous, as reported by the Washington Post, which said, quote, the federal government is on track to have $1 trillion deficit in 2020 and to continue running yawning deficits for years to come. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office predicted Monday it's a report that should make Americans concerned, especially younger ones. Don, especially you and your generation, again, being screwed by those old you-know-what.
It's okay.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a living.
On a basic level, this means the U.S. government is spending way more money than it brings in. This is not a new problem. The United States has been running a deficit ever since 2002, but the situation is about to get really ugly. The country has never run this high of a deficit during good economic times. If spending keeps up at this pace, and there is every indication that it will, President Trump and his successors are going to have less flexibility to pump up the economy during a downturn or even a crisis. This is unprecedented, said Justin Bogie, senior policy analyst on fiscal affairs at the Conservative Heritage Foundation. Now, yes, you heard me right. I said even the Conservative Heritage Foundation now is scared. Note that the conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation, who more so than not pushes tax cut, are also raising alarms. This stance will allow them to blame who? Donald Trump, and not conservatives for being the principal cause of the deficits. Donald Trump owns it. Folks, what I'm trying to tell you here is this. These Republicans are setting up Donald Trump as a fall guy. A lot of people don't see that yet. They're setting him up as a fall guy. The reason why they're not bucking him, he's the fall guy. He's an idol. He's the one everybody worships. Look at the polls. Look at his polls versus the Republicans' polls. They worship Donald Trump. So when the fall comes, the intent is that it's going to be Donald Trump. And then it's not going to be a rebirth, because the truth of the matter is they want everything Donald Trump did, but they didn't want it in their name. They want all the policies that Donald Trump has passed. They want it, just not in their name. But the plutocracy wants it. And in Donald Trump, they got that guy that thought he's so smart, that great deal maker. He's going to own it. And then they're going to say, but you know what, folks? That's who you liked. That's who you wanted. So we had to follow him. That's who you voted in. That's who you, if anybody bucked Donald Trump, you made them pay in the primaries. So we just had to do what you told us to do, people. Now that we've looked at Donald Trump as a charlatan, now we can govern again. But you know what? We can't overturn all these things that Donald Trump did easily, because it was so hard to get there in the first place. How do we overturn it? Remember, there's still a filibuster, and they're not going to blow the filibuster when they want to keep the things that Donald Trump gave in. They're not going to dump the filibuster. Folks, Donald Trump is being set up as the fall guy, and not even Donald Trump knows. So, while most of the traditional mainstream media focus most of their time on tapes, subpoenas, and the like, Republicans continue to move their destructive policies in the name of Donald Trump. When it all comes tumbling down, the lack of proper media scrutiny for appropriately calling out Republicans may give them the plausibility to say, Donald Trump did it. They will be quick to unload him because he would have served his purpose. Folks, the telephone number 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. Do we have anything from Pledge Central to tell us? I sure hope.
We have one person on the phone right now. We can have more people if you call 713-526-5738. Join that person who is talking to our great volunteer Bob right now. Get Freddie on the line. Get all these people activated, because your voice is activated. That's what this show is about, is activation of voice and actually talking truth to power and not being fearful because we have some company over our head going, you can't talk about that. Or me as, my job going, you need to tell them what to talk about. These are the talking points. I don't know what you talk about before you come on air. You say things and I go, okay, either I agree with it, don't agree
That's
with
the
certain
name of the
things.
game.
It's the way it works. And that's why we give you a voice. Not just you, Egberto, but those people who call in and those people who have a voice now by calling in 713-526-5738 and showing that your voice is stronger than their money with your money. Because corporations are quote unquote people, right?
Right. That's what they say.
Yeah. But the thing is we don't take corporation money. So we take money from people to fight towards the corporation. Well, I'm sorry, fight corporations.
Absolutely.
Because corporations, like all of this hand wringing that the Republicans and Democrats are doing back and forth, this is games.
Yes.
These are a lot of games. These are war games. People have known over years and years these are war games, but now it's become a time of, oh, they're pulling a magic trick, and we're pointing that out. We're pointing out the magic trick. We're showing you, oh no, actually, he palmed a ball the whole time, and you were just looking at the cups for no reason. 713-526-5738. Let's talk truth to power.
Absolutely. So, folks, we need you to call in. We have a very large quota that we have to make here at Politics Done Right. So I ask you to give us a call at 713-526-5738. You will be rewarded for many reasons. A lot of times we sit back, and I said this before, and we say somebody else is going to do it. That somebody else has to be you. It really has to be you. You have to really come and say, you know what? I am going to bite the bullet, and I am going to support this station, the only progressive station in town. It's funny because I had a woman on here, a Republican woman, a few months ago, and she came up and she said she wrote a check and she wanted it to be seen right here on air. And she says, this conservative woman wants to make sure that politics done right stays on air, because the idea is, one of the things that we do on our shows, we're very inclusive of all. We make sure that everybody has their point of view. We allow everybody's point of view, and the one thing that we don't argue about is we don't argue about facts. If you have something factual to say, we want you to say it. And I tell you, folks, this is really your station. When I tell you that Politics Done Right is your program, that is not a cliche. That is not a joke. That is real. People have called in here and changed the direction of our shows. People have called in here and added to our shows. People have called in here and made our shows. Do we have anybody to thank yet, or they're still taking that?
They're still taking them.
Folks, please give us a call at 713. Those phones I don't hear ringing right now, but we do need to hear them ring. 713-526-5738. Be a part of the solutions. That is what we're all about here. Be a part of the solution. Let's make sure and show, you have this is what's amazing. I tell the story all of the times. A Republican friend in Kingwood looked at me and said, Egberto, I didn't have a very good day. And it's like, okay, what do you mean? Because she spends her time on the phone fundraising. And she said, today was a slow day. How much did you make, my friend? Oh, only $5,000. I'm like, $5,000? You know how far $5,000 go at KPFT? We're looking at different levels here, folks. We do so much with so little. I made a little Instagram video yesterday showing how our rugs are taped because we are so frugal with your money. And we do that intentionally. We are intentional in our frugality because we respect you, and we want your money to go where it is supposed to go, and that is to inform. That is to give back. So give us a call, 713-526-5738. We need your calls, and the phones aren't ringing, so please go ahead. Any more phones are ringing yet? No more phones are ringing, folks. 713-526-5738. We told you we were going to give you a program. We gave you a part of the program, and we're good to our word. I had a surprise today that had to be postponed to August 9th. But it was going to be one of our major candidates that was going to be on air with us today, but schedule conflicts as usual. You know how that goes with the big wheels, right?
Yeah.
Are they off the phone yet? Still on?
They're still on it.
Still on the phone. Folks, 713-526-5738. Let us get your call. I know you're kind of tired of hearing us. Ask over how many weeks? This is our third show that we're doing this. But remember, we've given you a show every single time that we've come here. Now, you ask yourself this question: why is it that Americans are doing what they're doing? Why is it that enough people in enough states voted for President Donald Trump, because in such a manner that the Electoral College affected his presidency? How comes that happened? The only way that happened, and the only reason that happened, okay? The only reason that happened, folks, is because not that these people are stupid, not that these people don't know what's going on. It's because, folks, these people are not informed. And a lot of folks like to say, well, they don't want to be informed. And that's not the case. I'm going to tell you something. I live amongst a whole lot of very conservative people. And I'll tell you something. Once you've earned the trust of folks, whomever they are, conservative, liberal, or whatever, people may not change your opinion immediately. People may not change or tell you, oh, you're so right. But they give you the opportunity to plant a seed in their heads. They give you that opportunity to plant that seed. And that's what we do here at Politics Done Right. Jesse, a new donor to the station. Thank you so kindly, Jesse, for being a new donor. Folks, if it weren't for new donors, if it weren't for donors, we wouldn't be here. 713-526-5738. We had a tough morning. We'd like to have a great afternoon. Let's go to 713-526-5738. Let those phones ring.
Either that, or we can talk about the Cohen tapes for 17 hours, telling you that is breaking news.
And you know what? That's the thing about it. If you notice on all the stuff that I carry, I haven't played around with the Cohen tapes on the blogs that I write and any of that. And the reason why is I understand that none of that, those are all distractions, people. Let me tell you something. All right, they are distracting you with the Russia gate and all these other things. And this is not to say that those things aren't serious. It's just that the amount of time that you would have MSNBC, all 3 or 4 prime time programs say the same thing about these issues. It's not necessary. The thing that's going to, let me tell you what's going to affect you effective now. Effective now, when you see the Affordable Care Act prices that are going to be released in October, that will materially affect you. Why aren't we talking about ways to mitigate that right now? And that's my point. In other words, the media, the mainstream media is lying to you. The mainstream media is, I shouldn't say lying. The mainstream media is giving you information that is, when you don't live it, and most of the people that you're listening to in the afternoons at nights, they're a bunch of rich folk. They don't live your life. They're there to tell you what things interest them, right? What interests them? What interests them isn't that you're not going to be able to afford your health care. What interests them is not that the tariff is going to make your life more difficult because of the prices you're going to pay going forward. What influenced them is not that, well, because you have changed some regulations in the environment, your home is going to be devalued because you live in a neighborhood close to some chemical plant that no longer is regulated, and you're going to lose thousands of dollars in the values of your home. They don't tell you. They don't sit down and analyze how the policies passed by Donald Trump and his posse is going to materially affect your personal economy, your wealth, your income. Because for them, it's a win or lose thing. It's a battle. Trump did this, and we're going to get Trump for doing that. So when they talk about Trump and the ACA, they don't talk about it in the manner in which it materially affects the person in Appalachia. It materially affects the person in the ghetto, the barrios. How does it affect that particular person? They don't do that.
It's called inside the Beltway politics.
Inside the Beltway politics, you're absolutely right. And that's what we are here for. We're here to give you the reality. The reality is, how is it going to materially affect you? When you go to this particular store, how's it going to affect you? That is what we're talking about. Those are the things that we cover. Because I tell you what, the others have no interest in doing that. But you know what is sad about it, and my friends, and it goes as follows. Many of you don't have a problem paying $200 a month for your cable bill, of which $50 or so is all the news programs and others that pretty much are misinforming you, entertaining you, but not giving you the meat and potatoes that's going to tell you how best to mitigate this, how best to fight the system. Now, we are going to tell you how best to fight the system, right? But you have us here, and we're here saying, please, folks, give us a call at 713-526-5738. We need just a fraction of what you would provide to the cable news, a fraction of what you would provide to broadcast media, a fraction to do good work, a fraction to do good work. Folks, 713-526-5738. We need to hear those phones ringing.
Or go to kpft.org. The other reason why we don't go, because of course this whole Russiagate and everything does affect people, but the thing is, us conversating about it, like having a conversation about it, we aren't the law.
Exactly.
So what's the point of us talking about something that's the FBI, CIA, they're doing that. What are we talking? We're talking about people on their level because we are on their level.
Exactly. That's what it takes. We, in other words, and Don, I think that that concept is very important, what you're talking about, right? In other words, it's not that we're not interested whether the Russians infiltrated our election. We know they did, and you know what? We want the laws to do whatever, but it's not. It's an issue of law, not an issue of politics in those regards. It's an issue of law, not an issue of politics. So, folks, give us a call, 713, or anybody on phone right now. Look, folks, we need those phone calls. We are not doing very well this afternoon, and we have a very high limit to reach. So please give us a call at 713-526-5738. Make sure that Politics Done Right can stay on air. I know there's a whole lot of fatigue with us saying 713-526-5738, but we need those calls coming, and right now they are not. We want to ask you to come on in and give us a call. We need those calls badly. 713-526-5738. And I tell you what, if you want to talk about something, send me a tweet right now, hashtag Politics Done Right. And you know what? I'll talk about it as well. But we need those calls in. Anybody on the phone right now? Okay, 713-526-5738. Again, that is 713-526-5738. You can send me anything by tweet as well, folks. I don't see any message that any actionable message right now on Twitter. But if you go ahead and send me something on Twitter, I'll be more than happy to talk about it on air as well. 713-526-5738. Folks, we do need to hear from you. You can go to kpft.org and donate directly online right now for this show. kpft.org. 713-526-5738. Folks, if we don't meet our quota, if we don't, as we tell you every time we have a fund drive, we are at risk. And you know, at risk may not mean immediately shutting down everything. At risk may mean being off the air for quite some time or less. How are we doing, Don?
We got 2 calls in right now. Thanks for those 2 calls. Load up those calls and let's see freedom ring, if you will.
Yeah, I mean,
I know it sounds corny, but
but it's not really corny. The truth of the matter, folks, is I think we have to start investing in what we believe in. You know, one of the things that the right does very well, we complain a lot. As progressives, we do complain a lot. We can't believe people do the things that they do. We complain a lot. We really do. But when it comes to supporting, you know, I don't know if I told you, Don, Kingwood, where the part of town where I live, is one of the sort of the base of this area's Tea Party. And when they call their folks up, those people perform. And you wonder, how can people win with a losing message? How can people win when they extract from you? And how can people who are willing to provide or willing to help or willing to assist have such a hard time many times raising funds for doing what's right?
Because they're trying to do it legit.
Exactly. So
why would you try to do it any other way? If you try to do it legit and go to the people and go, hey, I want to help you, people go, wow, what's the catch? The
Right.
catch is that we stay around as a station. How many stations do you have that is Republican talk telling you how the man is taking the Mexicans are taking away from you? That crap that you hear, like, do you want that from us? Because if you want that, we can let
No,
Egberto go. Just bring in all Republicans who talk all that trash that you want to hear, all that red meat politics, so you could go to wherever place you could go to Starbucks and start fighting over it. No, we're not giving you that. We're giving you actual things that'll help your life. We're actually telling you about how politics actually are affecting your everyday life. And that's what KPFT does with the talk shows that are on. Thanks for all of those calls as they're mixing around trying to figure out how to, get to the phones. But that's the real things, like red meat politics. We could fight over that stuff all day.
right.
You can do that at home.
Right.
When it comes to actually being on radio and whenever it comes to actually talking to the people, we talk to the people about what actually matters to their lives.
Absolutely, folks. Let me tell you, Don is absolutely right, and that's what we do here with the passion. I can tell you straight up, the people here are many of them very altruistic. We believe in what we do. We believe that we can make a difference. In fact, we've actually seen differences made with what we do. We've actually seen ourselves activate people. We've brought courage to people. We've taught people how to engage. That's what we are here for, and we do our job. So we ask you to call 713-526-5738. We so need to meet our goal. We only have 12 minutes to meet our goal. 713-526-5738. They gave me a very high goal to meet, because they believe in you. They believe in my audience. They believe in our audience. They believe that you guys are the performers on this network. They know that you want to hear this type of news. Yes, sir.
I want to thank Norma online. She says, thank you for your genuine commitment. She got a KPFT cap, a little hat.
Thank you so kindly, Norma.
So thanks, Norma, for giving you. You can join Norma online, kpft.org, or you could join those people on the phones as they call in 713-526-5738. Let's see who I can thank here. Is that Wendell? Yeah. Thank you, Wendell. Ooh, look at you, Wendell. Oh, Wendell, thank you very much for that pledge. Folks, this is the biggest thing, and I know who it's coming from. It's coming from me, the quote unquote, you say interim program director, but I come here all the time. I make sure that Egberto is backed up, and I don't know how much I produce. I just make sure you don't sound crazy on air. But
you produce very well, sir.
Oh, thank you. But I do this because I love it. And it's not, I love the, back and forth politics. I love actually getting real deal politics out there, real deal that matters to the people, because this job and being on air is for the people. It's not for anything else. We're not sitting here selling you, new bathtubs so you could walk in and go, oh, look at this, it's a walk-in bathtub. We're not doing that. We're selling you yourself. We're selling you information. We're not even selling it. We're going, hey, we're doing this for free, pro bono. Can you at least donate and help out so we can stay around to continue doing this? It's legitimate, and it's one of those things that it's hard to come out here and say, hey, can you give money? But the thing is that's what happens when you do things legit.
I wish, I wish it was possible to simply not have to come and say, we need your support. But the reality is we have to ask progressives and others to give us support in order to keep doing what we're doing. There's not any other way that we can do it. And the thing about it is most of us here, we do this on a volunteer basis. This is a volunteer basis. I come here several times during the fund drive. I come here several times by 5 a.m. to really come out here and help out. And a lot of us, that's what we're doing.
You help out with Amy Goodman.
And we do it. We all do it. Folks, this is a community effort. This is a community station. And Susan is going to come out and play her music, and she's going to be doing her part. Susan is out there answering phones as well. So I mean, the truth of the matter is we all cooperate and do quite a bit out here. And for that, we ask your support. 713-526-573. Please tell me there are people on the phones.
It's like 4 people on the phones. But
let's keep those phones going. We have more phones that we can fill up. 713-526-5738, or go to kpft.org. And folks, next week we come back with a full program. Well, next week the program, and I haven't spoken to you about this yet, Don.
Who, me?
Yeah, but I forgot to tell you about this. But we are going to be broadcasting next week from New Orleans, because we're going to be broadcasting from Netroots Nation 2018.
Oh, well, thanks for saying it on there.
So, folks, when you hear Politics Done Right, you're going to be hearing Politics Done Right on Thursday from New Orleans. And hopefully I'll try to have one of the politicians in the chair by then. So let's see, Don, who do we have to thank right now?
I have Derek to thank.
Thank you so kindly, Derek.
And also, I want to say Elaine.
Thank you, Elaine.
If I said it wrong, call back and
what's it?
ALLAYNE.
Thank you so kindly, Elaine. Thank you so kindly.
Alan?
Alon, maybe, who doesn't look. If we did your name wrong, call and say, hey guys, say my name better. But you know what? Thank you so kindly for the support. Are people still on the phones?
Yes.
Okay, folks, please give us a call at 713-526-5738. We so need your call right now. Egberto only has 7 minutes to make his quota. 713-526-5738. I know we can. Do you remember that thing that says, I know you can, I know you can,
Yes,
I know
I
you
think I can.
Oh, it's like, well, hey, come on, I'm from Panama. Sometimes I kind of screw up my words,
Yes,
Okay, 713-526-5738. Mira, mis amigos, mis latinos, mis todos que en todas partes del mundo. Llámame 713-526-5738. El número es el 713-526-5738. Necesitamos que llaman ahora mismo para darnos la donación, porque sin ustedes no tenemos estación. Sin ustedes el progresivismo termina. Nos necesitamos ahora mismo. 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. Come on, my folks, give me a call and let's close out Politics Done Right with a bang. Please tell me that some of the phones are occupied right now.
Let's see. Pledge room, no ocupado.
No están ocupados.
No.
No, you have to say, los teléfonos no están ocupados.
Look, man, I can't say all that. You mentioned earlier the farmer, the situation with the tariffs and the farmers, kind of going deeper into that. Understand that this is a bailout for the farmers.
Yes, but go ahead.
Go ahead. It's one of those things of also understand that most of your congressmen and senators also own farms.
Exactly.
And that's the whole reason why we have the tax reduction. What do they call it for corn? Oh, subsidies.
Subsidies, yeah.
The reason why we have the subsidies on the corn is because most of those congressmen and senators have those things. So really, whenever we have this welfare for farmers,
it's going to Congress people too.
Yeah, it's going to Congress people too. And plus, it makes it where they can still say, see, we're having your back.
But it's a lie, because here's the deal, Don. $12 billion is a drop in the bucket when it counted to the farm budget. And here's who gets the maximum part of those things. Cargill, ADM, and all the big agribusiness are going to get it, not the little mom and pop farmer. So, folks, don't be played. And for those of you who are listening in Iowa, for those of you who are listening in the parts of Michigan that grows and all these other farm areas in the country, you are being played. That's what they do. 713-526-5738. Please give us a call at 713-526-5738. I got 5 minutes to raise a whole bunch of money. And the phones are occupied?
Thanks, Maria, from Sugarland.
Thank you, Maria. Is that online or is that a...
Yeah, that's another online pledge at kpft.org. But those phones are not ringing right now.
Come on,
phones. Keep that flurry going. 713-526-5738.
We need those phones. I've got 4 minutes to do it, folks, and you can help bring me over, bring us over, bring KPFT over so that we make our quota. It is so necessary. 713-526-5738. Remember the work that we do. Remember that the sacrifices that we make in the name of activism. Remember that, because folks, what we are doing here, there's no other station in Houston doing that. And that's not hyperbole, my dear friends. No other station in Houston doing this. 713-526-5738. We so need your call now. So please have the phones ring right now. Don, tell me the phone. Somebody's on the phone, Don. Tell me that.
Okay, somebody's on the phone.
Is that the truth, though?
No.
All right. 713-526-5738. We need another flurry, folks. We need one more flurry of calls coming in. Remember, don't wait for the other person to do it. You be that person. Remember, they have Coke, we just have you. But we prefer to have you. We prefer to have hundreds of you. We prefer to have thousands of you, because the revolution, the change that's necessary is coming from you.
Well, actually, we don't prefer. We can only have you, because that's a choice that we could have created. We could have been an actual, full-on corporation,
yes,
and then sell you all of this trash that truthfully you don't need.
Right.
But the thing is, we chose to make sure, whenever 48 years ago, and actually when Pacifica first started, we chose to make sure that this was a 501c3 company that was, it's not profit-based here. It's all about making sure that people have a voice, because when you go profit-based, you don't have the option.
You're owed to somebody.
Yeah.
I want to hog my book one more time, folks.
Okay.
I don't get anything from the book. Remember that this book, I just give it to KPFT and they put it out there for a pledge of $120. You get, as I see it, Class Warfare, the only resort to right-wing doom. Why don't you call right now and get the book? I promise you, you learn so much from that book, because I did learn when I wrote that book. Because all of this stuff, from the medical to the patents to the stock market to everything, is all intertwined, and I explain it in a everyday, understandable way to speak. I guarantee you that when you read that book, you're going to leave enlightened with exactly how our entire system works now and what we should be doing to have it work better. 713-526-5738. Get the book.
Write that book.
I wrote that book about 5 years ago, but the book, you know what's so funny about it? So much stays the same.
Where I was going.
Yeah, and it's still valid. It is still valid.
It's one of those things that, like I was saying earlier to Larry, our GM,
Uh-huh.
is I noticed, like, when 1984 was written, a lot of bad things were going on.
Right.
And they were trying to warn people about what was coming.
Right.
And it wasn't a big book when it came out. After a while, now we all know 1984.
Exactly.
When people are trying to warn you of something, please learn. So we're not learning all over again.
Exactly. So
we
folks,
got to that point.
get the bumper sticker. The bumper sticker, I think for what is it, 25 bucks? Yeah, or 35, whatever it is. Go call 713-526-5738. Tell them you want a bumper sticker, a Politics Done Right bumper sticker, or go ahead and call 713-526-5738 and ask for the book. It's a $120 donation. You don't have to give it all at once. You have to thank somebody, Don? Oh, okay. Anyhow, 713-526-5738. Folks, we need those calls. Tell me somebody's on the phone. Come on, folks. Give me a call.
Somebody's currently on the phone.
We need some more on the phone. 713-526-5738. Come on, folks. Let's close this out big. Susan is about to come and start her great radio show, and look, she's dancing already inside in the studio. She's ready to go. So, folks, let's close Politics Done Right out very, very solid. Give us a call, 713-526-5738. And this is Egberto Willis, Politics Done Right. I am out.
Thank you very much for listening to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willis. You can personally reach me by sending an email to egberto@politicsdoneright.com. Remember, Egberto is spelled E-G-B-E-R-T-O. Change starts with you. 90.1 KPFT gives you information not tainted by corporate interest. Please visit kpft.org and contribute. Let's ensure continued access to real information and news remain available to all. Again, thank you very much for listening to Politics Done Right.